Hey there, Hammer fam. Welcome back to HammeredHead. We got a 3-pack today. It's another Evolution set from the Legacy Collection. This one's the Jedi Legacy. Pretty psyched for this one. We already looked at another Evolution set, the Vader's Secret Apprentice Starkiller one, and those figures were all pretty good. And I really like Jedi, so I think these guys are going to look really awesome in the collection. Lovely packaging. I really like that shade of blue they went with on the white. Great picture on the front here. Qui-Gon looks hard as f***. And like a nice little like starry background or whatever this is. Looks really nice there. So we get Qui-Gon Jinn, Batuu Swan, and Luke Skywalker. I gotta confess I'm not super knowledgeable about New Jedi Order stuff. But I like Luke, and I think that's a pretty good outfit on him. So still really like what they did with him. Nothing too crazy on the sides of the box. Just the same picture and over again. The Jedi Legacy. Journey through the evolution of the Jedi Knights. The Jedi carry on through the many challenges to their survival, teaching the Order's noble ideals and powerful skills to each succeeding generation. Qui-Gon Jinn's decision to bring young Anakin Skywalker to Coruscant forever changes the fate of the Jedi. Batuu Swan wields her lightsaber courageously during the Clone Wars, and years later, Luke Skywalker helps end the crushing rule of the Empire. And a really good shot here. Looks like they're in like the Jedi Temple or something. Some great action poses. Yeah, so we already looked at this set. Again, it was really good. I like the figures from it. And I think these guys look really cool too. We do get additional accessories. If I had to guess, maybe they're going to be like lightsaber hilts and stuff. But we'll see. Let's open it up. Take a look. Gang's all here ready to save the day. So I'll dive into each figure individually, but before we start that, I just want to point out that Batuu Swan's lightsaber is actually a different shade of green than the other two. Qui-Gon and Luke have sort of like the traditional transparent green, whereas Batuu's lightsaber is sort of like a foggy green, more just translucent. Definitely like a completely different style than the other two, which, is not bad. It's just interesting that all of these figures came in the same pack, but they have different lightsaber styles. So it's just, makes them look a little weird altogether, but it's not a huge deal. And then they are a little tricky to balance, especially Batuu and Luke. They kept toppling over when I'm trying to stand them up. But again, not a huge deal. And I do think they look great, so let's dive in and look at each figure individually. Behold, Jesus Christ. This is one of the goofiest interpretations of Qui-Gon I've seen in an action figure. Look at that guy. His neck looks like really long. His hair is kind of like clunky. I like the coloring on it. But the sculpt just looks kind of rigid and weird. And yeah, I just think he looks like Jesus. It's weird. But I like the sculpt on his tunic. Again, though, it's a little blocky here. Like the shirt comes down and then all of a sudden it cuts off for the belt. And then it continues down here and then the belt is a different shade. As if like he tucked his tunic into it or something. I don't really know. But, it looks pretty good, I guess. I like the soft goods here. This is a really nice shade of like tan. And I kind of like this like back flap here. That's nice. So it's not like a horrible sculpt. Just all around he looks a little bit goofy. But I like him. He seems pretty articulated. Look at that. And he's got a good grip on his lightsaber, which also has a good sculpt, nicely detailed. I like the emitter up here a lot. You can see they like really modeled it off the movie. And again, he's got a good grip on it, which is nice. And I do like this shade of green. So, yeah, just a little silly looking, but he's not horrible. Next up is Batuu Swan. She's like one of the background Jedi from the Geonosis fight in Attack of the Clones. I think she did a little bit more in the EU. I didn't really read any of those books, so I don't actually know a whole lot about her. But I honestly think this was a weird choice to go with for Jedi Legacy. Like, this is the evolution of the entire Jedi Legacy, and they're representing it with Batuu Swan. It's random, but I do like getting background characters, especially ones that stand out, and she does have like a more unique appearance compared to a lot of other Jedi figures, which is great. It's a decent face sculpt. The hair, again, is kind of blocky. It's just like Qui-Gon, it feels like it doesn't sit right. Like it's truncated way too quickly there or something. So that just feels a little off. But other than that, I do like the sculpt. It's a nice look for the tunic. Great paint apps. I like the different colors that are going on. They all mesh very well together, especially here on the pants. This like brownish, almost green color there, I think looks really good. I like the detailing on the belt, especially like the golden belt buckle here. So that looks nice. And then we get like the classic light brown Jedi boots here, which look really good. Her grip on the lightsaber is a little bit loose, but she can grasp it, which is decent. It's a pretty standard lightsaber hilt. It's detailed, but nothing too exciting about it. And then again, she does struggle a little bit to balance. Like if you bump into the table, she's going to fall over. But just standing there, I think she's a good addition to a Jedi collection. And finally, we have Luke Skywalker. Again, I'm not too read up on the new Jedi Order, so I can't really attest to the accuracy of the figure, but I think he looks really, really good. Just like Batuu Swan, he's more unique than a lot of other Jedi. It's a really nice outfit choice. The face sculpt looks really good. Same with the hair. I think by far this figure has the best hair of all of them. It looks the most natural. It's a really good color. So they painted it well. Again, the face looks pretty accurate. And these robes look phenomenal. The sculpting is pretty basic, but having this like sort of burnt orange, brownish color on the gray really pops. And I like the way this black belt kind of cinches there. I think it accents the tunic really nicely. And again, the gray pants are basic, but they do look good. And I think it fits the figure really well. And just, basic black boots. He grips the lightsaber really nice with two hands. I think that's a good look. And let me just take it out for a closer look. So it's a pretty good sculpt. It's kind of hard to see, but there is some black paint apps on the hilt back here. A lot of fine detail on that. And again, a really nice shade of green for the blade. And again, like Boltar, he does kind of struggle to balance. He's not as bad. But again, bumping into the table, this guy's going to fall over. Overall, I really like this guy. I think he's a great Luke. So I was wrong about the accessories. The only additional one we get is this single brown robe, which looks like an interesting cut. It was a fun accessory to include, so you can put it on like whichever of their figures you like. I think Qui-Gon is the blandest of the three and has the most like abrasively strange sculpt, minus the soft goods down here. So I'm going to put it on him. We'll see if that looks any good. Oh, there we go. So it is pretty enormous. Let's get the hood on him. Yeah, that is a really fucking big robe. So if he didn't look goofy before, he sure does now. Maybe from a distance it's okay. Yeah, I don't really know. That's not the best robe that we've gotten. But I might still display him with it, just because it kind of adds to the like insanity of this Qui-Gon. Hey, have you guys seen that spooky ghost? Ooh. Articulation appears to be the same for all three of them, and it's not bad. We got a ball joint head with decent up and down, and then ball shoulders, which go kind of high up, and elbows. There we go. Get about just shy of 90 degrees on that bend. And then swivel wrists, swivel waist, swivel hips, and then ball knees and ball ankles. Ankles go about 45 degrees down. So it's pretty good articulation. It gets the job done. And there's the Jedi Evolutions Jedi Legacy Pack. I don't know if this is as good as the Starkiller one. And maybe they're on the same par. It's really fun. I like it. The Qui-Gon is pretty but the Batuu Swan and the Luke both look really great. They have decent sculpts with really nice paintwork, and I think it sets them apart from the other Jedi, so it's definitely worth it just for those two. But let me know what you think in the comments. As always, thank you to my Patreon subscribers. Be sure to follow on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. Check out the Patreon page, and don't forget, stay hammered.